Recording now. Otherwise, I will forget and remember halfway through. So we have reached 7 o'clock and I am mindful of everyone's time. So we will make a start. And I thank you all for joining me this Thursday night to spend an hour with me to talk about our health and soothe, relax, restore, harnessing massage for sleep, stress and swelling relief. I'm aiming to cover in this webinar an understanding of the causes of sleep, stress and swelling and the connection that they have together, and to explore the benefits of massage therapy, to discover essential oils and their roles in relaxation, and to touch on some tips in maintaining the overall well-being. So I'll start with my story. I have overcome many issues around stress and sleep. For the past 21 years, well, up until last year, I worked for the government in a very stressful roles. Every role I took on there had a level of stress involved in it. At times I was managing staff. I was dealing with outside client contact, so they could be challenging at times, and they would impact my sleep because I would be waking up in the middle of the night thinking about what I needed to do the next day, or issues with staff members, how I was going to deal with them, or it would interchange. I'd have trouble going to sleep because I'd be thinking about all of that with that racing mind. And then on top of that, I was trying to be a working mum and have family work-life balance, and at times that wasn't so great. And I was introduced to a massage therapist at that time, and that's when I found massage and essential oils to be able to help manage my stress levels and to help calm my central nervous system. And it was through regular massage treatments and then using essential oils at home that I was able to find a bit of better balance and to manage the stress and how I was dealing with stressful situations in my life. So I was able to incorporate essential oils at home into my self-care that gave me the ongoing benefit from the massage treatments that I was having. It was during this time, and how did I end up here to be a holistic wellness practitioner, was about 15 years ago that we lost my father-in-law. And at that time, I really stopped and looked at where I was. I'd been in the government 7 or 8 years, and I really didn't want to say, hey, I retired after X amount of years of being in the government. So I did a bit of soul searching to work out where I had my love and my passion and where I wanted to end up. And the one thing I knew, it was about helping people. Most of my roles in the government had been supporting staff to do their work. And I really found great enjoyment out of doing that. So between developing a love of essential oils to help myself, I decided to study and become a clinical aromatherapist. Nearly 12 years later, I'm now doing that full time, and I am really passionate about helping other women to be able to deal with sleep, stress and swelling issues that they have in their life. So we'll start with understanding sleep issues. So common causes of sleep issues come from impacting of stress. Maybe we don't have the right family work-life balance. Maybe there's issues going on work or family. We can have poor sleep environments. So our sleep hygiene, is it too hot? Is it too cold? Are we using our phones a lot before we go to sleep? They've become a real impact, I think, in everyone's lives. Because when we're on our phones and on social media, we're actually getting a release of dopamine in our brains. And that's the hormone that makes us feel motivated and happy. Also, if we drink alcohol or caffeine before we go to bed, that can impact how well we sleep, and the type of sleep we have, whether we only have light sleep or deep sleep. If we're shift workers, when you work night shift, then you're trying to sleep during the day, and you can have other impacts of noises and that will interrupt with your sleep. Some symptoms of sleep deprivation are you feel fatigued, you're feeling tired all the time, you're having difficulty concentrating, you can be irritable and easily upset, and you can have reduced reaction time. So I think it's important that we check in from time to time with what's happening in our life, and try and keep track of what's happening, so that we can identify for ourselves when something might not be right with our sleep, because sleep is really vital because it allows our body and our brain to rest, recover, and perform essential functions, and it includes memory consolidation, emotional regulation, immune function, and general health maintenance. If we've got sleep deprivation, it can lead to poor short-term and long-term health outcomes, and it can impair our everyday functioning. So it can impair on how we interact with our family. It can impair how we interact with our workmates. And for some people, they can have additional sleep issues, such as sleep apnea, and then that can have further impacts on their health and well-being going forward. Wrong way. We will go back the other way. If anyone's got any questions as we go, feel free to pop them in the chat. So we'll keep an eye on that and look to answer as we go, and answer them, any that I miss at the end. I think it's important that we, when it comes to managing stress, that we are looking to identify any triggers and stresses in our daily life. With stress, if you were to imagine your nervous system as a busy traffic controller in a city that normally keeps everything flowing smoothly, with the cars moving at just the right speed, but when we can't get it to relax, it's like traffic lights that are constantly blinking red, causing chaos on the roads. And that's our body's nervous system has two main modes. We have our fight and flight mode, where we gear up for action when we feel threatened, and we have our rest and digest mode, where it chills out and relaxes. So when our nervous system can't switch into relaxation mode, that's when our body's stuck in that perpetual state of high alert. Some people, I certainly myself, feel it as a buzzing energy. Other people feel it through constant headaches. Everyone's a bit different on how they feel that constant feeling of fight and flight mode. When we're stuck in that mode, it can lead to things like tension in the muscles, a racing heart, our breathing becomes quite shallow. Mentally and emotionally, we can feel anxious, we can be irritable, we can be overwhelmed. Because it's like our body is getting really ready to just be like a marathon, a sprint rather than a marathon, and we want to be running more of a marathon and that more relaxed way of life. So if your nervous system can't relax, it's like those traffic lights in the city are on the fritz. They're blinking red all the time. They're causing chaos from being able to get anywhere, and it's really hard to find a moment of peace. So that impacts our sleep, because our body then can't get fully relaxed to get into a good sleep pattern of rotating between light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. So as I mentioned, stress does come from threat that we feel that it's a major challenge, and it sets off hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. So identifying our triggers and then being able to work with those to switch ourselves from that fight or flight response to the rest and digest response, where our body's feeling more relaxed, we need to look for those physical triggers. So some of those can be headaches, can be muscle tension. People hold muscle tension and hold their shoulders up around their ears quite often when they're dealing with stress. And it can be fatigue from when you haven't had good night's sleep, or even if you are sleeping 7 or 8 hours a night, your body can still feel fatigued because it's being held in the tissues. You can have signs, as I've said, of anxiety and irritability, and you can have those mood swings, and you can even withdraw from people. So it's important to identify different techniques to be able to use to reduce your stress. And one of the easiest techniques I actually find is deep breathing. So placing your hands just under your rib cage on the diaphragm there, and taking deep breaths. So I tend to work with box breathing of 4, breathing into the count of 4, holding for the count of 4, breathing out for the count of 4, and holding for the count of 4. And I find that helps to relax my nervous system. And I do that quite often in cycles of 5. So if I am feeling challenged in a situation, or I have something difficult that I need to deal with, I'll quite often take 5 or so minutes to go through and do that breath cycle to help relax my nervous system. So on top of what that also helps with, and we'll lead in and talk a bit more about this in a few slides, is when you've got your hands resting there, you might find that they actually sink in. And what it's actually working on is opening up the main collective point of our lymphatic system. So it's actually almost working, your hands are working like a pump with that deep breathing to actually help your lymphatic system work better, which has a huge connection in overall health. Other ways to help manage stress can be taking time for mindfulness or meditation. When I say meditation, a lot of people go, oh, I can't stop and sit and meditate. My mind races. Meditation and mindfulness can be very different for everyone. I certainly don't see meditation as being a requirement to sit there and actually switch your mind off. I see it as an opportunity to stop, to be breathing, and to just let the thoughts pass in and out of my mind. But even walking mindfully, I find that if I walk out in nature where there's not a lot of noise, but there's a lot of wildlife, that a 30-minute walk out in an environment like that works just as well as sitting down and meditating for 10 or 15 minutes. And on top of that, I get the physical exercise and the benefit of that to help the endorphins in my body. Things like yoga and Pilates, they're also very good to be able to help stretch the body out and help that mindfulness connection, because quite often you'll find that you're concentrating on the Pilates exercises or the yoga positions, and it makes your mind concentrate on one thing, and it helps that nervous system to turn off and slow down. I think it's important that we look at having a bit of a personal stress management plan. It doesn't have to be a written plan, but working out what your not negotiables are for you to have maximum well-being. So your not negotiables, or mine are, I look for 7 hours of sleep every night. So I work on what time I must be in bed and the time I need to get up each morning. And these won't necessarily work for everyone, depending on what you do for work. But I look at incorporating regular exercise into my life. So I've made a not negotiable now that there's 3 times a week in the mornings. I go for a 30-minute walk. I try to do more, but it's not negotiable for 3. And since I've incorporated that in over the last 3 months, I have found an improvement in how I'm waking up more refreshed, and I feel there is a connection to that because it's helping to switch my mind off. And as I mentioned, you could incorporate yoga, Pilates, gentle stretching, and I think it's also important that we look and ensure that we are eating well, because if we're not nourishing our bodies with good food, then that can impact how our body reacts to what's happening in our life. Just take a mouthful of water. So swelling. So swelling, we can get swelling for many reasons, but some common causes of swelling can be our dietary choices, if we've got a high sodium diet, or if we're actually dehydrated. Our body is made up of a very high percent of water. So if we are not keeping it hydrated, then it will hold on to the fluid in our cells to protect itself. And then that can cause swelling in our feet, in our legs, in our hands, in our fingers. They tend to be the main area that the swelling comes to. From prolonged sitting and standing. So if you're in a job that you find that you're standing for long times, or you're sitting for long times, that can cause poor circulation, which causes swelling in our legs, ankles, and feet. And then us women are so lucky, hormonal changes, depending on where we are in life, but our fluctuations in our hormones can really result in causing swelling and that fluid retention, which then gives us discomfort can give us discomfort in our joints. And then we can also have swelling from injuries. So if we do have sprains or strains, the injured area will swell because our body's protecting it. It's wanting to try and take care of it, so it become inflamed and swollen. And then we need to manage that. So if we are dealing with injuries, one of the best ways is to look at applying cold compresses to that and elevation. But elevation also is great if you are someone who works and stands on their feet all day, or you do find that because you do sit in an office job and you do get swelling, just elevating your feet at the end of the day for 15 or 20 minutes can help alleviate that swelling. Looking to eat anti-inflammatory foods is another good way to support our body and our lymphatic system to be able to rid itself of toxins and to try and keep that swelling at bay. Gentle stretches, incorporating some gentle stretches throughout the day. It could be 5 minutes, or you might start for 10 minutes in the morning, doing some gentle stretches through your legs and arms, and then finishing off before you go to bed at night. And that can certainly improve mild swelling. And then there's massage. And we will talk a little bit more about massage in a minute, but lymphatic drainage massage is one of the treatments that I do that is specifically targeted at supporting our lymph system to be able to reduce any fluid that it's holding on to out of the tissues and release that and remove it from our system. And it's always important to remember, if you've got any swelling that come on for no apparent reason, or there's unexplained leg pain, or you're having any difficulty breathing, then you should look at consulting a healthcare professional. So the benefits of massage when it comes to both swelling and stress. Massage, any type of massage, will enhance circulation. And also any type of massage has a component of being able to help the lymphatic system drain off. But with lymphatic drainage massage itself, I'll give you a bit of a background for those that don't know much about the lymphatic system. If you pictured and imagined your body as a big city, and it's a super efficient garbage system. So basically the lymphatic system, it's like the cleanup crew for our body. So our body produces waste. It needs to get rid of dead cells. It needs to remove bacteria. It can have other icky stuff in it, viruses, anything that it needs to remove and that it sees as garbage. The lymphatic system swoops it and gathers up that waste to flush it out of our system. And it's a bit like a network of tiny highways and streets that runs throughout our body. And at the heart of that system is our lymph nodes, and they act as our filtration centres. They trap all the bad stuff. They filter it out before sending our clean lymph back into circulation through our body. So those lymph nodes are a bit like having security checkpoints in our body, making sure that everything stays safe and clean. So our lymphatic system is actually part of our immune system. It helps producing the white blood cells, which are our body's superheroes. So by promoting and stimulating the lymphatic system, it helps to remove toxins. So when you wake up and you might feel a bit stiff and a bit slow, or you've got some swelling in your ankles, or you're feeling sluggish, that could be that your lymphatic system's not working to its optimum and it needs a little bit of help. Now, we can do that by moving. Exercise helps move lymph through our system. Ensuring that we're well hydrated, so having plenty of water, will help that fluid move through your lymphatic system. But a lymphatic drainage massage is a really gentle massage that works just under the skin. So if you're not into like a deep tissue massage, this is complete opposite. It's really gentle and it literally works on stimulating the lymph out, and we work on opening up the main lymph areas to help drain that out of the body. The overall benefit that this type of massage and also my aromatherapy massage has is it does help to reduce the stress. It works on that nervous system to turn off that fight or flight response that might be constantly in, and help your body to work back into a rest and digest mode. So it can also help remove pain, and it also improves your flexibility and your mobility, and it has an impact on overall wellness. I've had a regular client that suffers from rheumatoid arthritis. When she first came to me, and in case people don't know, that is an autoimmune disease. When she first came to me for treatment, she was having very regular painful flare-ups that were impacting her ability to look after her young children and to work. And she was looking for a massage that would be gentle, that wasn't going to cause any further pain for her. So she started coming in and having regular lymphatic drainage treatments with me. And she was finding that at first it was removing some of the stiffness that she was feeling. And then we started to move her treatments out further apart, and she was finding when she was having flare-ups that the flare-ups were not as intense as they previously were for when she before she started coming to see me. And we've now, over the last couple of years, worked to find out her maximum length of time between treatments that she can come. So she's at a 6 or 8 week mark now, where she'll come in, and I call it a bit like a tune-up. She'll come in for a treatment just to keep her body on track. And on top of all of that, she made changes to her diet as well. But she would say, she said to me that her flare-ups have probably reduced down to being about 70% less pain than when she first started to come and see me. So I'll just touch briefly on this. I have an offer, and I'll go into it further towards the end of this presentation, for you to work with me and have the opportunity to experience the transformative power of tailored massage treatments to what's going on specifically for you in your life, and where we can work together to help find solutions to improve your sleep, reduce your stress, and to help your body release swelling. And I will go into the full details in a few slides. Essential oils. Essential oils are really good for helping our body to relax. Through their aromatic compounds, by inhaling them through our olfactory system, it triggers a response in our brain, in our limbic system, that is responsible for creating calmness and relaxation. So it is linked into our nervous system. So by inhaling them as simply as on a tissue and inhaling them into our nose, up through our nose, we can trigger a relaxation response from using oils, which will help reduce our stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and it helps to promote a sense of tranquility. Obviously, different essential oils promote different effects, but the most common one that people will link to relaxation is lavender. It has a fantastic ability to soothe nerves and to actually promote better sleep. So it makes essential oils a really valuable tool to use as part of your relaxation process, especially when it comes to sleep time. If you were to use essential oils before sleep, it would help to calm your nervous system, which would allow your body to unwind and relax into a deeper sleep. Not everyone has trouble going to sleep. Some people have no problems going to sleep and wake up at that 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Time. If you have essential oils by your bed, I suggest one of the ways I suggest people to use essential oils for sleep is through a room spray. That way you can use that spray to spritz on your pillow before you go to sleep. And then if you do happen to wake up in the early hours of the morning, then you can use it again then, and it can help you fall back to sleep. Other ways you can use oils are in diffusers. So they've been gaining in popularity over the years. Lots of people like to have them in a room, so you can pick oils to change the energy in the room. If you had lavender or chamomile or sandalwood, it would be very relaxing. But you could use more uplifting oils like citrus oils of lime and lemon and orange, which would be quite uplifting combined together. You can also, if you do have essential oils, you can also create your own massage blend at home. You can get some plain moisturizer, so like a sorbeline cream or something like that. A tablespoon of that with 2 or 3 drops of essential oil, and you could rub that moisturizer in to your body. And if that's a better way for you to use it when it comes time before bed, massaging towards your heart is a great way to stimulate the lymphatic system. So you can do that whenever you're rubbing moisturizer into your body, but by massaging it in as you rub up towards your heart, then you can get the benefits of the oil being absorbed through the skin. We just need to consider not to be overly heavy with essential oils. Using more is not usually better. You need to be mindful to use them diluted, because otherwise you may have a reaction, especially on your skin. If you use undiluted essential oils continuously on your skin, bodies can have a reaction to the chemical compounds. So creating a holistic self-care routine. So if you're able to integrate some regular massage therapy into your routine, it will give you the benefits to be able to help release muscle tension, to increase your flexibility, and to support your immune system and your nervous system. By incorporating essential oils into your life, it is a way to be able to help you connect and anchor to be able to relax and find some tranquility. So I have clients that buy my meditation blend of essential oil, and they use that in their meditation routine. So they may put it on in a diffuser in the room where they're sitting and meditating, and they have that oil burning whilst they're meditating. And that just enhances their meditation further. If you incorporate them with sleep, you could have a sleep spray. I do a spray called Calm that has lavender, lime, cedarwood and vetiver in it. That's been very successful for both adults and children, using it to help them unwind at the end of a busy day. So there's many different ways that you can incorporate essential oils into everyday life and help them calm that nervous system down. And also looking at establishing healthy habits around sleep, identifying and looking at your sleep hygiene. Do you need to get off and put your phone down a bit earlier before you settle down for the night? Identify any stress triggers in your life and see if there's any changes that you can make to that's going to allow your body to be able to be out of that fight or flight response, so that you can create overall wellness for yourself. And daily journaling can be another way to help you identify areas that you may need to work on and look at making changes in. So you might choose to journal at the end of a busy day and before you go to sleep. write what's been happening, what you might need to work on, and you might actually find that that helps your mind switch off before you go to bed, and that can help improve your sleep. Is everyone starting to get see that there's quite a connection here between sleep, stress, and swelling? That if you don't have a great night's sleep, it could impact how you react to what's going on in your life the next day. Or if you've got something going on at work, if you're not able to clear that from your mind, that could impact your sleep, which then could have an impact on the inflammation, the swelling in your body. Feel free to put a comment in the chat if you like. I think it's important that we ensure we are maintaining a balanced diet and engaging in our regular physical activity, because no matter how many essential oils we use or how much massage you have, if we're not nourishing our body the right way, then our tissues will have trouble being able to release the tensions that they're holding. So that's where being able to stop and take small amounts of time during the day and practice small amounts of mindfulness. It could be just sitting with a cup of tea or coffee for 10 or 15 minutes before you head to work in the morning, or as soon as you come home. That's the first thing you do, and you just take that 5 to 10 minutes to just try and slow yourself down before you get on with the rest of your evening's activities. As mums, when you're juggling family and work, I think sometimes for us it feels like we never stop. But if we don't take care of ourselves first, then we're not there for our families and our friends and loved ones. So it's really important too that we foster positive relationships, ensure we nurture and make time to spend with our family and our friends, and that we engage in activities that really do create enjoyment for us. I like to read a good book. I like to go for a walk on the beach when we can get time to go down. Catching up and having a great dinner with friends and being able to have a great laugh is a really great way that I find to switch off from everything else that's happening. It's just a couple of hours that you switch off from everything else that's happening in life, and all you're focused on is what's happening there and then. Yes, Alison, like changing habits. I think if we all know our body, then we know what we need to do in the small little steps, and look at small steps we can take to change habits to have a bigger impact. And yes, Amanda, sleep. I'll put my hand up that I have been a shocking sleeper. I would always cut out on my sleep. I've got so much to do. I'll only have 6 hours tonight. I want to be up at 5:30, but I won't go to bed till 10:30. It's taken me a long time to realize that if I work on my sleep, I'm going to have better health for myself. So the offer that I have is to help you elevate your well-being. I have an offer that you can become a case study with me, where you'll receive 3 personalized massages over 3 weeks to work on addressing specific area of concern for yourself. So it could be sleep, it could be stress, it could be swelling, it could be interconnected, because they are all easily linked together. And this would allow you to take the first steps towards a balanced, rejuvenated lifestyle for you. And I'm offering this at a reduced price. Wrong way. We'll go this way. It would normally be priced at $330. I'm offering it for $270 to those that are attending the webinar. There is I've only got limited numbers, so it'll be a matter of getting quick. On top of that, if you sign up from this webinar, you'll also get a free room spray. And the only thing that I ask at the end of our 3 treatments is that you write a testimonial. So a bit of a testimonial that I can use to share ongoing to bring more clients in and be able to talk about how you found my treatments. And if you also feel comfortable enough to do a Google review for me. So I will pause there. You can, I will be sending an email out with the recording after this. So we'll also have information in there to how you can contact me. And I will pop in the chat in a minute some links where you can also book in with me for a free 25-minute discovery call, which means you can have a chat with me and we can talk about what's going on and how I can help you. So I'll just pause there, and before I wrap up, does anyone have any questions? And you are welcome to come off of mute if you would like.
I mean, I really love the idea of the holistic self-care. I forget what on one of your slides you had it, and it was like, yeah, it's really helpful to think of like the different areas that you can start incorporating rather than just, exercise or something like that. But yeah, I like the sound of that. That was good.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Yeah, and I think if we make little changes to what is going on. So I guess our lives are all very different. So probably just drilling down and prioritizing what you want to work on first, and then making small changes. And not everything works for everyone. But the one thing I would say I think everyone can benefit from is a little bit of stillness. Yeah. And how that stillness is for you will be very different. Obviously, you come in for a massage, you will get an hour of sort of stillness. I don't talk in my treatments unless my clients want to talk, because I'm there to nourish them and help them relax. But I do have clients that come in and their way of unwinding is to blurt everything out to me in the first 10 to 15 minutes of their treatment. And then all of a sudden they go quiet.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, this is working.
Yeah. I think especially as mums, sometimes just that hour of quiet is just bliss.
Yeah. But sometimes it is only a cup of tea. Walk in from a busy day at work and say, I'm doing nothing. I'm sitting here for half an hour having this cup of tea. Might be reading a book or just sitting with it. I only say cup of tea because I need to get off the coffee, and coffee really doesn't help. Coffee does not actually help. It has its place, but later in the day it certainly doesn't help our nervous system.
No, it's kind of like a transition period between work mode and home mode. That's nice. I like that idea.
Thanks. Does anyone else have any questions? That's all good. So I did a lot of talking, but I will just touch on wrapping up. So if I could leave you with just some key takeaways, that sleep is one of the most important things that we need to help our overall body. But there is great benefit in massage therapy to help with your sleep, to help reduce stress, and to help reduce swelling within your body. Essential oils, scent can have a huge impact, both positive and negative, in our life. So if you connect, I always think of hot apple pie. For me, if I smell hot apple pie cooking, I connect that with going to my grandma's place for a Sunday lunch. And so smelling that will automatically change my mood. It puts a smile on my face. I'm really so that's why scent can have a huge impact on helping us to unwind. Yes, Linica, no, I'm not covered under health insurance. We could spend a whole hour of me getting worked up on why. No, I hold a diploma of clinical aromatherapy. So in a nutshell, the government took that out of private health insurance about 7 or 8 years ago. So no, I'm not covered by private health insurance, like for private health funds. But yes, so remedial massage is the only massage that is now included in that, and depending on your health fund to how much you get back. What I would say for next steps, and thank you all for coming and listening, but is, yeah, maybe just doing a little bit of a check-in for yourselves on what's happening for you, and where you might feel that you might need to do a little bit of work. Is it going to bed half an hour earlier? Is it drinking some more water? Because sometimes just upping your water intake by an extra litre or half a litre can actually make a huge difference in your health and how you're feeling. And just the importance of that holistic, that whole of body self-care for us and our overall well-being. We need to put ourselves first so that we can then be there for our families 100% and be able to support them in what they do. So I will, as I said, thank you all for attending. If there's no questions, I will wrap it up. I will be sending out I'm going to stop sharing. I will be sending out the recording.